Hello everyone and welcome to Salcc Updates. It's a real pleasure to have you here with us again today for the news on the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. And as usual, I'm joined by a guest and we're starting an exciting series from today. So be sure to stay tuned in to NTN every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. and with a repeat broadcast on Saturdays at 6. And we're very thankful to the staff of GIS NTN for facilitating this program. So what's up with Sir Arthur Lewis Community College? Over the last 2 weeks, we have brought you the news that applications to all of our programs are now open. And you can go to our website at www.salcc.edu.lc to apply. And if you want to learn more about our programs, you can also scroll the site for information, the requirements, the length of time, the modality in which it's offered. All of that information is on the site. But here's what we're going to do to help make the information more palatable. We are going to present an information series of sessions where the heads of each unit as well as the faculty will be on Zoom in Zoom breakout rooms to answer all of your questions about the programs. So let's just look at the calendar to start up with on the important dates that we need to pay attention to coming up. So as of March 1st, we will have our first informational session where you will learn about our full-time programs that would usually appeal to some of our secondary school leavers. These would not include our professional programs just yet, but our informational sessions will run this week, March 1st and 3rd, and then we will have a second round of those sessions just in case you need to find out about another program, or in case you missed it, we will run them a second time live Zoom sessions in the following week. We also want you to note that over the next 2 months, applications will be open. The deadline is April 30th, but don't wait till the last minute. The application can be started and saved. There is quite a bit of information that you need to upload, so that until now, you would need to have a photograph ready. And since we are going digital, you don't need to have an actual passport size photo. You can take the photo with your phone, for example. Just make sure it's a headshot and it is clear and can be seen with no distractions in the background. You would also need to upload your qualifications that you already possess, depending on the program that you are applying for. So at least scroll through and see what is needed. That very first page will tell you what is absolutely necessary. So I really want to encourage you to visit the website. In addition, the other date that you need to pay attention to if you do not yet have CXC results is April 28th, where we will once again put on our math and English entrance exam. And that is, of course, for students and adults who do not yet have qualifications in those two subjects, which are a requirement for all of our associate degree and bachelor degree programs, not necessarily the certificate programs. So if you do not yet have results, or if you've left school and you want an opportunity to access our programs, but you do not have passes in math and English, then you can write our access exams our entrance exams in math and English. So if you do that, and if you're a secondary school leaver, we are requesting transcripts from your secondary school, so you could actually get early admittance in June. Our regular time is to wait for CXCs, and that happens usually in late August. But we know it's always a very short period, and we want to give you sufficient time. So we're asking you to take advantage of that opportunity, but we are presenting you with both options. You can use your CXC results, but you would just have to wait until August when it comes out for us to process your application. But if you do the entrance exam and if we get your transcripts, then we will be able to admit you by June. So let's talk a little bit more about the Zoom sessions, the informational sessions, and I will just bring up a slide that has the date and the programs that will be offered. So our first offering is on Tuesday, March 1st by the time you're seeing this one will be done, but there's also one on Wednesday and the following week as well. So these are the programs that will be offered. They will also be offered in the following week, that is the week of March 8th, and the programs will be offered in the same order. If you are an adult and you want to access our professional programs, let's look at slide 2. These are the programs normally that we know the adults are usually interested in. In this other slide for Tuesday, where we look at our teacher education, our nursing program, public health, and also some of our short courses in modern language, in the sciences. All of that information will be given in our Zoom sessions. If you go to our link tree on social media, you will be able to access the Zoom link to those sessions. So share the word, tell somebody you know who needs it, and we'll be happy to facilitate you. So that is the main thing that is happening. Let me just let you know too that our upskilling program that we are doing in conjunction with the government of Taiwan, as well as the government of St. Lucia, is in progress. That is the vocational training in the health aid, in early childhood education, in digital literacy, and in hospitality. They just completed the compulsory 2-week orientation in digital education because we had to ensure that they understood the digital tools that they needed to use. So that was compulsory for all participants, and that ran very successfully, and they are now ready to get into their respective programs. Also opening up as of today is the incubator program for small businesses. You would recall that the Ministry of Commerce, in conjunction with the South Louis Community College, held a forum where we explained what the incubator and coaching program would be. So if you have a small business and you need help starting up, we will be providing seminars, workshops in terms of how to develop your brand, how to build your business. And if you go to the upskilling website, you would be able to register for that. You can contact the college or the Ministry of Commerce as well for more information on that. So it's just the start date today. We will be bringing you more information on that. So as usual, continue to follow us on social media. Stay tuned to our weekly program right here on NTN. And of course, visit the website for more information. There's a lot happening. It's important for you to get qualified. Human resource development is what we can count on in this environment. The knowledge economy is big as well, and so is the green economy. So from today, we will feature as part of our program one of our alumni who was breaking through, making headway, continuing to upskill in so many different ways. From this day, we will be bringing you those alumni. And it is my pleasure for this program to have with me a gentleman who I, full disclosure, had in my class at some point. I won't tell you everything about him, but he's doing so many wonderful things in technology, the green technology. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Dinel Florius.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here and for being my first guest in our alumni series. So Dinel, like I said, full disclosure, I remember you at the South Louis Community College. So I'll let you tell us a little bit about that journey and say the one thing I remember just very, very clearly about you. So tell us what program and what years did you attend the college?
Okay, I'm thinking back now, and I attended Salcc in 2008 to 2010, and I was a science student, so I did biology, chemistry, mathematics, and of course, corporate communications, which was your class. So it was a remarkable experience, actually. I actually loved Salcc because it really gave me some good insight into the sciences and really understand, okay, what path are you going to take in life? Because at that stage, I was either branching into medicine or engineering, so I really needed to decide and clarify exactly what path I would take. So I was a busybody.
That's what I remember. So for some reason, I forgot you had done science and actually thought maybe you were already into business. I always remember you darting into class and then darting back out like I have to move to the next thing. So honestly, that is my recollection of you. So you went into business, you went into science.
Yes, I was a science student, but I mean, business called to me since then because I used to sell confectionaries at Salcc. So I used to sell donuts, I used to sell sweets, I used to sell cookies, just flipping the money that my parents gave me every day. So I used to leave school with more money than I came into school with. And I mean, I got a knack for it. So I really loved it, saved my money, so I can do other things in the future. But yeah, it was a good start.
That's good to hear. So you were an entrepreneur from very young. So post Arthur, you said you were trying to figure out, you know you were into science, but you're trying to figure out engineering stream or medicine.
Yes.
What happened that took you in the direction that you're in now?
Okay, so pretty much what happened, it actually happened when I left Salcc. And when I left Salcc, I told my dad, listen, I want to really see how the business environment is laid out, so I don't want to use your name or your reputation to get a job. So then I sent out like probably almost 100 applications, and like barely anything came back. And I was like, but I went to one of the best schools on the island, so like what's really going on? But I applied for like a lot of lab tech positions and stuff like that. But I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, I believe like God is guiding me to a certain avenue. So I didn't get through with that, but then I ended up getting a job in engineering. So I was like, okay. So it was between medicine and engineering for me. So my engineering journey started, but I still had medicine at the back of my mind. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay in engineering for a while and I'm going to go into medicine, get my GP, then get a specialization in hematology. So that was my plan.
Clearly mapped out.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Fast forward, I ended up spending like 3 years in engineering, and I really loved it. And I was like, this is kind of like medicine, because I related medicine to engineering in a way that diesel mechanics, hydraulics, because I was in construction engineering. So I was relating it to medicine and saying that in the same way the heart beats, the engine moves in the same way. So the oil becomes the blood. And like, I was like, this is really, really interesting. So I can literally merge the two things that I'm interested in and like stick in engineering.
Engineering. And then we saw you into a lot of green energy stuff. So when did that shift happen?
All right, what really, really sparked this was when I took a ride in an electric car. And whilst I was working with the engineering firm, I was reading a lot, doing a lot of research, and I found about green energy. And I always used to ask my grandparents, like, why didn't they invest in oil when it was just starting, right? And they were like, oh, Dinell, you again, like, leave us alone, right? So I was like, you know what? Let me look into this more. And I realized that green energy is actually the new oil industry. And I was so excited about it. I tried to find like every single company here who was involved in the space. There weren't many, but I found one. And when I reached out to them, they told me, yeah, you can come by because we just received our shipment of electric cars. I was like, yes, I will come now. So then I left my work and I went up to Rodney Bay. And then lo and behold, the car was amazing. So I took a ride. It was like driving on a cloud. It was nothing like I've ever experienced. So I was like, this is the future. And this is really where my passion lies. So I actually sent my letter of resignation like the next day. So I was like, okay, I'm out. And they were like, Dinell, you have everything going for you. You're a young boss. Like you have probably like almost 15 people working under you at the construction firm. You have your own car. You have, everything is pretty much paid for. So are you sure you want to make this decision? Because thinking about it, like I sent in my letter of resignation and I was going to work for free.
Wow.
For the startup in green tech. So everybody, my parents were like, are you sure? And my previous boss was like, are you sure? I was like, yes, I'm going to be a pioneer in green energy. And I said that to him, and I remember that. And they pretty much laughed and like, oh, Dinell, okay, we'll see.
So where do you place that? Do you think it's impulsiveness? Do you think it's just that you knew your purpose? Where do you situate that for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very spiritual person, so I've learned to understand that when God speaks, you listen. And he always guides you and gives you confirmation along the way. So I actually saw 3 things that confirmed that I needed to be in this field. After I made that decision, I saw that Sustainable Development started a campaign to really push green energy. And I was like, okay, this is another confirmation for me. And then when I left, I can remember this distinctly. I left, I went to drop off the vehicle, went to drop off all the keys, and I had to take bus home. I haven't taken bus in a while since I was working there because I had my own car. And whilst I was on this bus, I was just thinking like, oh my God, what did I just do? Like, I said, Lord, please show me that I made the right decision. And whilst I was driving past Rodney Bay on the bus, I saw panels going up on the Chinese restaurant at the entrance of Rodney Bay. And I was like, okay, thank you.
That did it for you.
That did it for me. That was my 3rd confirmation. So it really, really just pushed me, and I've been at it ever since.
So as of now, I know you grabbed many opportunities, and we'll talk about something else that you started doing with Sir Arthur. But when I look at your CV, you have been able to move out of St. Lucia, and you've received regional and even international accolades for the work that you're doing. Speak to us a little bit about what you're involved in now.
Okay, so as of right now, I am the co-founder and CEO of a green energy startup. It's called EcoCarb, and it's essentially an EPC, an engineering, procurement, and construction company. So we pretty much help businesses and homeowners go from the ground up, taking them from using fossil fuel to power their homes and businesses to using green energy. So we take you from step A all the way to step Z. So essentially, thinking about it, that a lot of people don't even know how much energy they consume on a daily basis. And my job is to come in, do the doctor visit. So I'm an energy doctor now. I come in, I do the visit. We analyze everything that's going on in your home or your business. We give you an investment grade report that shows you what you can do to take you to that next stage, green energy transitioning. Then you can really have the opportunity to make a decision as to what you'll choose to do first. So we don't just give you everything and tell you, okay, you have to do everything now. It's an investment decision. So you can either decide to do the energy efficiency, you can do the renewables, but we would recommend you do energy efficiency before. But at the end of the day, you really transition away from what is currently being used, which is polluting the environment, to being a prosumer as opposed to being a consumer of energy. And we just empower people at the end of the day, and that's really our mantra.
Tell me, what has the environment in St. Lucia been for a business such as that?
It has been challenging. I mean, a lot of people have been involved in the industry since 2013, and it has not been easy. I remember when I just started, like, I used to have to sneak into government meetings because I wasn't really invited, because everybody's like, okay, who's this 20-something-year-old kid trying to say and, like, have a voice in our meetings, right? But when it started, I was like, nobody knew who I was. Until one day I said, listen, I'm a renewable energy specialist. Like, at this point, like, I barely knew anything, but I was doing a lot of research online, so reading a lot. Every single video I could find on the industry, I watched it. And then eventually people started to recognize me, and they're like, oh yeah, that's Dinell. I was like, okay, now you know my name. So I'm having an impact. And eventually I went from sneaking into their meetings to them calling me to consult their staff on the industry. So it has really gone full circle.
That's great to hear. So Dinell, one of the reasons that we really want to engage alumni is for them to inspire other young people. And I would like to think that there were certain skills that you acquired from your, even if it's a short stint at Sir Arthur. as well as certain characteristics that help you to sustain your involvement in this industry, which you said is a challenge. Can you speak to, and I'm hearing some of them I don't, the research, the critical thinking. Can you speak to some of those skills that tertiary level education provides you with, that foundation that can help you survive in such an environment?
Yeah, definitely. One of the most important things is working with other people. Because when you're at Salcc, like you have some group projects, sometimes you have to do presentations. So,
which a lot of students hate.
Yes, but it's very, very important in life because every single day you have to be selling yourself. Whether you're selling to a customer, you're selling to a future employer, you have to be selling every single day. And Salcc really gave me the opportunity to work on my presentation skills. Yes, thank you. And also really work on my communication with other people. Make sure I worked with others in a very, very efficient way. Meeting deadlines. Yes, being organized. All these things are very, very important. And not to mention the academics, which really was the basis for what I'm doing now. Because the cool thing about what I studied at school, which was sciences at Salcc, was it gave me the ability to zoom. So now I can just look at something that I'm doing now, let's say a solar panel, and I'm now able to zoom, see past the panel, see the electrons flowing through the panel, see where it's going to, see how we can converting that direct current into alternating current, and not just knowing the process, but understanding that process.
Excellent. There are lots more that I want to ask you, but I am sure that we have to take a short break. We've been going on for a while. Mr. Moderator, not Mr. Moderator. Yes. So we'll go for a short break, Dinal, and we'll be right back. Please stay with us. You're watching SALCC Updates.
Are you looking to broaden your career opportunities? Future-proof your career with a bachelor's degree from the Salcc Lewis Community College. We've introduced new cutting-edge degree programs in environmental studies and sustainability, tourism and hospitality, business administration, and public health. Online platforms are making it easier than ever before to further your education and mask your competitive advantage. This is the game changer you've been waiting for. Get the highest return on your investment in your ECS from the college you trust. Visit salcc.edu.lc. Apply today for September 2021.
Welcome back to SALCC Updates and to our conversation with our alumnus this time. We are joined here today by Dinal Florius, who is a green energy expert now, having gone through the Salcc Lewis Community College, and he was just sharing with us the benefits of being at the college, and we're learning more about what he does. Dinal, I realized that you've been selected as OECS 30 under 30, which I think is a significant achievement. Tell us how that came about.
All right, so essentially, I've been doing a lot of work with the governments trying to help them out. And when I saw this program come up, I was like, listen, this is a great opportunity for me to put my name out there and also to inspire other young people like me, because that's really what drove me a lot, to just inspire other people, especially young people, and show them what's possible.
I think it's so important for our young people, our young academics, to be part of the national conversation. And one of the things that we want to do in this series is give our alumni an opportunity to speak to their expertise as it relates to national development. And for you, it is with green energy. Speak to us about where you see St. Lucia, or what we need to do in St. Lucia to really develop in that area and help the country move away from that dependence on fossil fuels.
Yeah, definitely. So where we are now, right now, renewable energy penetration is still very low. And we are still too dependent on fossil fuels for power. So the utilities now are looking to transition, with Lucia starting with the solar farm that they did in Viewfort, which is, I mean, kudos to Lucia. They're really doing an amazing job in guiding this transition. But what we really want to do is that we really want to empower people to be prosumers as much as possible on the ground level. So for businesses to be able to have their own, be able to generate their own power, for homeowners to be able to generate their own power, and not just look at it from a home perspective, but also transportation. Because a lot of people don't even realize that a lot of energy is used in transportation. So a lot of the fuel that we import is actually used in transportation and not to generate electricity. So we at EcoCarb by Green Technology are really helping people transition, not just for their homes and businesses, but also transition with regards to their cars, their bikes, or any other means of transportation that they use.
Great. So that is with the green technology. So speak to like a first step. If you had to do like a call to action for somebody listening to you in terms of where they want to go in green energy, what would you say to do first?
Okay, so the first thing is to call me.
That's right.
You can call me at 723-9495 or at EcoCarb. And what would help you do is pretty much get the energy audit side done. So for your home or for your business, like I said before, it's an investment grade audit, which will give you the breakdown and the returns on every single investment that you would need to transition.
All right. And the other thing that I would like you to do before we end is to speak to the education on a national level, the importance of tertiary education. Sir Arthur Lewis is currently in transition or has been in transition to University College, but I would like you to lend your voice to the role and the importance of that stint in your life in terms of where you are today.
So Arthur, back in the day, like, I mean, they didn't have all these great programs that they have now, and I really wish they did, because then I would have really, really maximized that opportunity. And something I've noticed from traveling a lot to Europe, to the US, I realized that the partnerships formed between schools, tertiary level educations, and the private investment groups is really, really important, because what can happen is that the school can vet great business ideas and entrepreneurs and help guide them into the investment world. So sometimes you have a lot of partnerships happening with investment firms and tertiary level institutions like Sir Arthur, and that really helps the entrepreneur go from an idea stage to getting the investment that they need to grow their business. And it's a really powerful thing, because at the end of the day, raising capital is not easy in the Caribbean. Like, it took me a while to do, and it was hard. So at the end of the day, the more help you can get to do so, it would really benefit the young people, the entrepreneur, and really benefit society on a whole from the business that you're bringing into fruition.
And let's just talk very quickly before we end about the opportunity that you got again through the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College and the French Embassy and United Caribbean to now break into the French markets with our French Gateways to Global Careers program.
Yeah, it's really, really useful, because I have French investors and I also have French business partners. So being a part of this program is really making a massive impact on my journey. Excellent.
So Daniel here is one who's taking advantage of the opportunities provided by Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. He was a student quite a few years ago, not saying his age, but he has returned to upskill. And that is what we are trying to push in terms of our human resource development at the college, that we provide opportunities for you to come back. So you were able now to get training in technical French that would assist you with your entrepreneurial journey. Yes? Dina, I want to thank you so much for being our guest here today on SALCC Updates.
Thank you for having me.
We want to wish you all the best with your business, definitely to support it and to see it grow. And we look forward to the impact that you will make on national development.
Thank you.
So much. You have been watching SALCC Updates. Thank you for staying tuned here on NTN, and we look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday, same time, 8:30 p.m. And don't forget to visit our website, www.salcc.edu.lc, for more information about the programs at the South Louis Community College. Stay safe, everyone.